What's up, everyone? It's your boy Infrar-Ed. Welcome to the Scout Report. It's Friday. You know what time it is. It's time for that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 Diamond is Unbreakable Episode 12 review. I don't even have any fingers to do it anymore. I just got into the habit of doing it. Anyway, I must say that this episode of JoJo was definitely the best fight of Part 4 so far. And definitely up there as one of the best fights in the entire series, as we got Josuke and crew, along with Jotaro, trying to catch up to Red Hot Chili Pepper and his stand user before it gets to Joseph Joestar on the boat. Right back like we left something again this week, as a plan is now being devised, as Jotaro's ready to go. He already has Star Platinum out at the pier, waiting for the boat for Joseph to arrive. And what they're going to do is they're going to split the teams up into two. Okuyasu and Jotaro are going to take the speedboat and head to Joseph, that's on the boat waiting for him. And Koichi and Josuke are going to stay behind. Now the reason for this is Koichi's Echo stand has a range of 50 meters. So that's going to help out a lot as far as foreshadowing when this stand is going to arrive, as Jotaro says that Red Hot Chili Pepper is very smart, or his stand user is very smart. We've seen that. I mean, he can even make his stand talk and control it remotely. By them being out in this pier and there's no electricity or anything around, Jotaro feels that Red Hot Chili Pepper will probably use something like a remote control plane, because all he needs to do is get into the battery of something and he'll be able to, use his stand to his full capacity. So he asked Koichi and Josuke to stay behind, but because again with the range that Echoes can go out, it'll be a good lookout for him. And of course you got the boy Josuke in the back, waiting just in case it goes down to fight him, while the other two go ahead and try to meet Joseph at the path, as he is on a boat by himself. The only people that should be on the boat with him are members of the Speedwagon Foundation, and this is where our episode starts off. And I can't commend the strategies and the plans and everything that they come up with in each series of JoJo, as Part 4 is definitely the best once again, as there's even methods of madness to what they're doing. Because, look at it. A speedboat can go, about 80 miles per hour, and they estimated that. If Red Hot Chili Pepper and this stand gets onto one of those metal planes, Koichi pointed out that thing could probably go about 100 miles per hour. So even one of those little remote control airplanes can still go faster than them on the plane that we're going. Once we get to the ship, we finally do get to see Joseph Joestar, and he is a shell of what he used to be. I mean, he's old, he's senile, he's looking around for his cane, asking where's my cane, and it's right there in front of him. But then again, the man is like 80 years old, so you have to cut him some slack on some point. He is still, a pretty big dude. He's just, losing himself as he's gotten older. There's no way to get around that. You can't beat time. So we did get the glimpse of seeing him, but if you're expecting him to look the exact same way that he did, then you were in for a surprise. While they're heading to the boat, Josuke and Koichi are talking to each other. Koichi's kind of asking, are you excited to meet this man? And Josuke is kind of like, I don't know him. I never met him or anything. However, I vowed to protect this city. So if we need to protect him, I'll still do it. Also, my mother wouldn't want anything to happen to him. If he was to die, I would have to see her cry again. I don't want to see her like that again, just like when she lost her pops, who was his grandfather, He don't want to see that happen again. So even if he doesn't have a connection to Joseph, it's still his family. It's still somebody that needs to be protected, as he's going to be the hero that he needs to be in order to save him. As Josuke and Koichi are on the lookout, Red Hot Chili Pepper actually gets to jump on them coming from underground. And we finally get to see the stand user of Red Hot Chili Pepper. It is a man by the name of Akira Otoshi. And he looks like a straight up rocker. This guy looks like straight up somebody out of Aerosmith. Long hair, long coat, bright colors. He has a guitar with him. He's 19 years old and he has a dream of being a rock star, just like Jimi Hendrix and Jeff Beck. So props to JoJo for always using the musical references, always. So now we have the stand user revealed. We have Red Hot Chili Pepper right in front of us, and we got two stand users ready to go at it as well. But Akira is very arrogant, saying that Red Hot Chili Pepper is the fastest thing that you'll see. He may even be faster than Crazy Diamond, as he says if he does what he was going to do, which was use that electrical airplane, he can get to the boat in 5 minutes, while Okuyasu and Jotaro on the speedboat would take them 8. That leaves him 3 minutes to take out Josuke and Koichi, but he arrogantly says this is more than enough time. In fact, I'm going to take you out with just my pinky finger, just like I did Okuyasu. Of course, Josuke, being the boss that he is, breaks this guy's pinky finger by saying, well, if you're going to use your pinky finger, how about I just take the pinky finger out? What you going to do now? What you got, bruh? However, you cannot underestimate Akira and this stand, Red Hot Chili Peppers, is one of the most intricate stands that we've seen to date. He's able to fight through the pain and still get back into the fight, and he actually breaks into a damn song with his guitar that is surprisingly actually pretty good. Koichi was looking like he was going to clap for a little bit, like, wait a minute, this guy's actually good. Maybe he has some type of future. But getting back to the fight, Red Hot Chili Peppers actually outnumbering Crazy Diamond in speed because it is using the current of the ground under him and the electrical wires that's on the dock to zip around Josuke and Crazy Diamond, even to the point where Josuke was trying to hit Red Hot Chili Pepper with his Durararara and cleanly missed. Wow, I mean, maybe this thing really is as fast or faster than Crazy Diamond. I still don't think it's on a level to stop Star Platinum, but he's just as fast, and here's why. Because again, he was using the current on the ground to go back and forth, putting us into a game of basically whack-a-mole to catch his stand users. However, what Koichi was able to point out is that Crazy Diamond didn't miss. His stand was actually so fast that it moved Crazy Diamond out the way, giving him a clean hit, as he completely has Josuke's number right now, landing a hit on him and knocking him back into the rubble. But just like how we cannot underestimate this bad guy, you can never underestimate a Joestar, as it seems like Crazy Diamond is missing as he's hitting the ground and making the holes, and the more holes he's making in the ground, the more paths he's providing Akira with Red Hot Chili Pepper. But Josuke looks back at Koichi and says, you should know how I think by now. We're kind of cool, so you know where I'm going with this. Koichi notices that on the ground there are oil spills all over the ground, and Josuke kind of tells him that you should know what I'm going to do next. As Red Hot Chili Pepper is making his way through the ground, the oil is actually leaving a spark, giving up the location of where Red Hot Chili Pepper is. Josuke couldn't see it himself because he's too close, but with Koichi being further away, he was able to see it, and he's able to call out where Red Hot Chili Pepper will hit next. Great, so as Josuke goes in, knocking Red Hot Chili Pepper back on his ass, finally catching up to him, as he even says, so now that I hit you, where do I get my prize? You know, whack-a-mole, get it? And Josuke is so clean. I'm loving this kid right now. He's like a mixture of Joseph and Jotaro put together so clean. I just like his personality. I like his sense of justice. I just like the character, as he really is fighting for my #1 Joestar out of the series. Of course, this isn't Red Hot Chili Pepper's final form either, as now Akira's enraged, and he is using the entire city of Morio to power Red Hot Chili Pepper, as he's drawing in all the energy into him, making him insanely fast and insanely strong, as we get our first battle since Dio and Jotaro in part 3, and these two are going in as they almost seem like they are an even match. And once again, Josuke is down and down for the count once more, crashing and knocking over things. And you know, Akira got a little bit ahead of himself by saying, you know, I am powered by all the electricity in the series, in the city. There's no way you can stop me right now. But Josuke with the plans, this kid is so smart, as everything was part of his plan all along, because now that he's gloating, we come to find out that Josuke actually busts the tire, and you know electricity cannot go through rubber, so he encases Red Hot Chili Pepper into a tire, closes them up so he can't escape. Akira still thinks he won and he's busted through the tire, but Josuke sends him into the water with the air that he used by using the reversibility of Crazy Diamond. And now Red Hot Chili Pepper is in the water. Once electricity gets in the water, it starts to spread and disperse as the stand is split apart. And for now, Red Hot Chili Pepper is down, and it looks like our stand user is down as well. As we take a good breather, another great victory by Josuke. Now we just have to get to Okuyasu and Jotaro, who was heading for the boat to rescue Joseph. Also, before we get to the boat, we see that the stand user, Akira, he's just sitting there just like in a state, and they think he's dead, as even a guitar pick falls from his hand and said one-way ticket. Meanwhile, back on the boat, they got to Joseph, and Okuyasu gets to him first. He knows, he's like, this guy's still pretty jacked, even though he's an old man. But he's a straight-up geezer, as he can't hear what Okuyasu's saying to him. He's asking where's his cane, and he's holding it right in his damn hand. He's like, I'm Okuyasu. He's like, oh, what? Osumasu? Like, hey, Okumasu-san. Nice little trick with that. And, you know, he's screaming like, I'm Okuyasu. I'm a stand user. He's like, what? You can't stand losers? What are you saying, son? I can't hear you. He does come to his senses a little bit and ask if Jotaro or Josuke have mentioned him, because he knows that Josuke is his son. However, he hasn't been there for him, but he wants to know if he knows anything about him. And Okuyasu just kind of tells him, you know, he never mentions him. And Joseph looks a little bit sad because, you know what, I think it probably wasn't his intention to leave his son. Maybe he was still going around chasing stands and things like that. We don't know, but that was a nice little funny bit just to see Okuyasu and Joseph interacting with each other. While this is going on, it seems that our stand user was not down for the count, as he is now snuck on to the ship in the guise as a Speedwagon Foundation member, as he makes his way in along with another one. He knows that Okuyasu isn't that smart, so he's going to be able to outsmart him with no problem, as he is now in there with two members, and they're both pretty much pointing the finger at each other as which one is the culprit stand user. And while he's trying to do this, he's using Red Hot Chili Pepper to come through a vent in the wall to try to kill Joseph. However, Okuyasu thinks on his feet, and he says, you know what? Bam! He just goes ahead and just knocks out this Akira. However, he reveals, I'm not that smart. Actually, what I did, I was just going to hit both of your asses and find out what happens. So, it was grace, and it was a little bit of good luck as well, because he was just going to knock out both of them and find out who was who. And the stand user is down once again. Joseph Joestar is safe, as everybody else gets back to the boat on the safety. As we close out the episode, we finally get the fated meeting between Josuke and his father, Joseph. As once again he goes back on saying, I don't know this man, but I still needed to save him, and I'm glad that I did save him. And for my mother's sake, and for my sake as well, I'm going to go ahead and try to make peace with him, or at least get to know who he is. As Joseph's walking off of the boat, and he trips, and Josuke actually catches him and picks him up, and his stand was broken. So Okuyasu picks up his cane and says, hey, why don't you just fix his cane with Crazy Diamond? But Koichi comes in and says, you know what? You don't ruin this moment right now. Look at them. As he actually looked kind of happy. You seen Josuke start to tear up a little bit. Finally begin to meet this man as they walk off into the sunset. And the day is saved. However, the day is not over yet, because you know Josuke is always, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, is always going to keep going before we get to be continued. As we see another severed hand of a young lady. It looks like it was in the bathtub, calling all the way back to the first episode. Remember, we saw that hand that looks like it was detached, was making breakfast. We get the same thing again with the blood dripping. As I think we got a serial killer on our hands as we head into the next episode. Once again, a fantastic episode. Definitely glad clap it up as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure continues to up the bar every week as being the strongest shonen out there, because it's so manly. Back to the old school 90s way of doing things. And that is the end of the episode. Thank you guys for joining me. As I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now if you chose to listen to me, and I really appreciate that. So thanks for stopping by. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode in the comments. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit a like. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, as I bring you guys content almost daily right now. On that note, I do have a channel update, and I'll do a separate video as well for June 23rd through 26th. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do any reviews. I got some things to take care of. However, I am going to try to get as much as I can out between that Monday and Wednesday of that week. Especially things that are in finales, such as Kids Niver, of course, Boku no Hero, and Joker Game. I still should be able to do Joker Game Tuesday, actually, so that's my mistake. But as far as things like JoJo and ReZero, I'm not going to be able to cover those like the week of the 23rd through the 27th, because they're ongoing. I don't think anything groundbreaking is going to happen. But things like Cabaneri, Kids Niver, Boku no Hero, things that are heading to their conclusion. I will be bringing you guys a review between Monday and Wednesday of that week, even if I have to double up on some things. I can assure you and I can promise you right now that at the very least on that Monday, which will be the 27th, I will be bringing you a Boku no Hero review, whether it be a live reaction or just a regular. But I got a feeling that the last episode is probably going to be a type of epilogue type of thing leading us into the next season. We'll just have to see how it goes. But be sure to join me Sunday anyway as I live react to the episodes coming up as all might hit the scene. And join me tomorrow as I review Kids Niver. And I'll have ReZero for you guys on Sunday as well. So on that note, once again, thank you for joining me. It's your boy Infrar-Ed signing out. See you soon.